For the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the PopCulturists PlayStation Podcast. With 40 years of playing PlayStation and 10 plus years in that games me combined, I want to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can. Come check out our socials, Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and X. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopcultures. We can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you are listening to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, with comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopcultures, as well as the merchandise store, popcultures.com/shop, where you can buy shirts, other assorted shit with our logos on it. Week 2 of Mustache, actually day 12 of Mustache. How do you think, Max? How's it coming together?
It's looking better than it did last week.
Oh yeah, it's so gross. So for those that don't know, I'm doing Movember through work, and I've raised jack shit. So like, hey, money me, money now.
I'll pay you to shave it.
So I tried to do the chops, but it didn't want to. They didn't want to kiss, right? And it was just gross. So now I've just like, well, I'm gonna. This still looks gross, but on a scale.
Phoebe's mascara, and just like.
I was like, I did think about getting Phoebe's mascara or like just a good Sharpie. But the problem that I have, as you can see, Max, and as you are very well aware with your own facial hair, the ginge is real. Like my hair is quite dark. It's quite brown, but my mustache has sprinkles of brown with a very, very deep ginger undercoat. And like there is redheadedness in my family. It's clearly recessive. It's everywhere but my mustache. So I'm not stoked about it. But yeah, look, it's a lot more fuller than it has been in previous years. And MGB in the chat says it's looking pretty decent with an ellipses, which doesn't feel like such a compliment anymore. No, I hate it. It's gross. Oh, and Max messaged me. I'm going to read it out loud because it's funny.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
A tinge of ginge in your face, minge, says Max.
Yeah.
And that is an apt description of my shitty mustache. But yeah, how's things? How's it goes? How's all things?
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Works good. Just plodding along. It's so busy at the moment. They decided to hire a bunch of new people to fill out their offices because they're like, we don't have anyone in the office. We want to justify people being, we want to justify the expenditures of the office by having people in the office.
Oh, so they're leasing out the space to like other companies.
So they keep no. They're leasing the space, so they need to make it worthwhile by having their own staff members in the office.
Oh.
But because their union is apparently really good, every time they hire a bunch of new people, they like, yeah, we're gonna work from home, bro. So they have to. There's like a compulsory like training period where they have to spend in the office, and then all of a sudden everyone just fucking disappears again. So it's getting there.
Oh, that's lame.
So it's ups and downs at work.
Yeah,
it'll be super busy, then really quiet for a while.
You're in that peak. Your troughs coming up. Your valleys.
Yeah, I've been super busy, and then on over the weekend I got bugger all sleep Saturday because the kids were just Friday night. The kids were just bloody shocking, absolute nightmare. And then my wife and Hadley went out and had like a mother-daughter afternoon. They went and saw the Paw Patrol movie on Saturday.
Sick.
And Ollie was just being a pain in the ass the whole he doesn't want to sleep now. He's gone from being like an amazing sleeper to just not sleeping at all. So I got about Ellie between us. I think Ali got about 4 or 5 hours sleep. I got 3
Mm.
because I'm like, you're going to be busy today. You have a sleep in the morning. I'll stay up with the kids. And then last night, I'm like, I need to try and stay up because I've got work tonight, and because I work night shifts, I'm like, I need to sleep in on Sunday. Come last night, I fell asleep at my desk at like 8:30. So I'm like, I'm going to go to bed. So I slept from 8:30 all the way through till 8:30 this morning. Woke up, felt like garbage, fell asleep on the couch for another 3 hours. So I've slept for like 15, 16 hours today, and I feel like absolute shit.
Yeah, while Ali is pulling her hair out.
I still feel so tired.
So this is the thing, Max. You're approaching
Well,
this all wrong.
To be fair, Ali and Ollie were asleep on the couch next to me, and Hadley was just watching YouTube videos for like 3 hours while he slept.
That is parenting 2 children. That is, everyone thinks parenting. Oh, I had my whole evening has been conversations around parenting, right? It's a very interesting conversation. Yeah, and it's like that sounds like the parenting of a preschooler plus a newborn. That sounds like an accurate description.
So she'd wake me up every once in a while. She's like, "Dad, I need a drink." I'm like, "Okay." I'd get up, get her a drink, go back to the couch.
Well, so James has done that too. Like, so, like we'll go to sleep, and if he wakes up before me, he'll just sit next to me and like sing a song or play around, or he'll grab the iPad and sometimes he'll be like, "Wake up, wake up. Hey, Dad, you should wake up." And then sometimes I'll just wake up and he'll be like, "Hey." I'm like, "Oh, hey, bud. What are you doing?" He's like, "Let's watch an iPad."
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Hadley doesn't know the passcode for the iPad, so she just locks herself out and then gets frustrated.
Oh.
So.
See, we don't have a lock on it because like if this is following on from another discussion today about like iPad and technology use with your child. Like it's the idea of like we won't lock it, but like we control what's on it. But it's like, well, you're free to use it, but like there are specific times where it's more appropriate than others, and and it's like, hey, like if I'm not from bad parenting, if I'm away, if you wake up and the clock starts with this number, you go back to sleep. If you wake up and it's past this number and I'm still asleep, like I'm not going to say like if it's past 7 and it's 11 and I'm still asleep, because that doesn't happen. But if it's past 7 but it's not 8 or whatever, well if it's past 6 but not 7, you can chill or you can just wake me up. Sort of the understanding, and like I know what's on there. He can't install any apps that I'm unaware of. We share YouTube channels, so I know exactly what he watches, so I can cull shit instantly if it's a thing.
Sure.
But yeah. So it's good. It's good fun. How the fuck did we get there? Oh yeah,
So that's been my weekend.
Nice.
What about yours?
My week's been pretty good. So we'll start with the week first. So I'm going to Perth. We were speculating it. I got my tickets to WWE's Elimination Chamber. Pretty good tickets too. So
look, I don't want to be the guy that like jinxes it and touch wood, but I hope this one doesn't get cancelled on you.
A pay-per-view like this ain't getting cancelled. The little house show from last time, totally getting cancelled.
Say that, and then all of them can't get visas to get into the country.
Oh no, the amount of money that show and this tour is going to bring to not just like the Western Australian government, but the Australian government. Oh man, they ain't stopping shit. Like there is no way they will not let that go through. So yeah, I got tickets for that, and now we're trying to work out the best way to get over there. The original plan was like to road trip it, but like fuel is stupid right now, and we worked out, probably like the better part of $1,000 on petrol, because it's what 6,792 kilometers return to drive it. So even if we drive 12 hours a day, it'll take 3 days of nonstop, like 12 hours nonstop driving. So yeah, or we could just fly for 4 hours and spend the equivalent. Yeah, the days of a road trip being a more desirable outcome no longer exists. That is a dream of a different century. It is something that we can no longer achieve in this current market. it's ball bags. Because, you know, how else are you going to see the fucking middle of Australia? Which is bum.
Is there much to see in the middle of Australia?
No, but that's the point. The point is, you know, like, how much of your country do you actually see?
There's no speed limit signs in the middle of in the middle of Australia. You can just go.
Just really?
I'm pretty sure.
Just fang it. That'd be cool.
Just fang it. I mean, who's going to stop you?
Well, that's one thing, because the idea is we were going to get a camper van, because it was going to be myself, my partner Phoebe, and my mate Craig. And
there's just some fucking bush kangaroo holding a speed sign up in the middle of it.
And the idea is we'll just get a camper van, right? Because you know, while one's driving, the other person can chill, the other person can sleep in the back. And then I met someone going, "Isn't that illegal? Like, you can't. Everyone has to be seatbelt." I'm like, it's the middle of fucking nowhere. Who's going to stop us? And even then, if they do, it's some Wolf Creek guy, and they're probably going to kill us.
Tell that to everyone on a bus.
Exactly. No seatbelts on buses. Yeah, so that's all coming together. We're trying to work out the best way to do that, which is exciting. This weekend was pretty chill. I had my son. So what did we get up to? Not much. We played some games, as we do. Went to the wrestling on Saturday night. Went to Renegades of Wrestling. So I had to work the show. It's one of the companies that I work for. So my son hung out with my partner. He and Phoebe. I had a blast. I got some pretty good seats for them, so they were able to like really enjoy the show and have fun, while also I got to run around and do all the shit that I have to do. Today we went to one of his classmates' birthday parties at some play center. That was pretty cool. It's this new one out in Breakwater. That means nothing to anyone listening to the show, but it's fucking sick in there. It's like, if you want to talk about elimination chamber, like a steel cage, like that's what it is. It's essentially just this giant like steel cage match where they just throw like 100 kids in to see what happens, and it's like it's Fortnite Battle Royale in a giant cage with slides and things that kids can fall off of.
Is it called Play Hard?
That's the one.
Nailed it.
Just look at you Googleizing. But no, it was good fun. He had a great time. He got to just run around. So I don't know how my kid did it. We want to talk about being tired. Like, you know, I'm tired because we got back from the wrestling about midnight. He pretty much spent the entire time awake. Slept for about 10-15 minutes on the drive home. And then because he's a kid, he still woke up at like 7 and harassed me, and we woke up. And then on Friday night, what?
Sorry, I just got a message from Ali saying probably bad thing, but I just fed him into a coma. He's floppy as fuck, but he's asleep.
Oh, your son? Yeah, he hasn't slept, and he's like, she just a sleeper hold. He's got a little neck, right? You just go and choke him out, and he goes to sleep. That's how it works. Yeah, and then Friday night I didn't sleep. I just stayed up late chatting to a mate because they're from Perth, and my dad was like, "Oh yeah, you know, Caitlin. I've known Caitlin since she was born. Like her mom, my dad, friends for like longer than I've been alive." And he goes, "Yeah, she lives in Perth. Hit her up." I'm like, "Yeah, cool." So I pull up Facebook. Like, shoot her a message. Realize I haven't spoken to her in 13 years. And I was like, "Oh, this is awkward." So we essentially just caught up. We just like, you know, hey, like voice memos as we do. And, you know, I do with everyone. I just annoy everyone with my voice memos. Yeah, we're just catching up in the last 13 years because for both of us, a lot has happened. But then I also forgot that like she's in Perth. So like we're chatting and I'm like, oh, it's fucking late. I should go to sleep. But I also want to be a prick. The conversation's good. It's good to catch up with her. I want to be like, hey, you know, can I come crash your house in February? But like, I'm only going to talk for like an hour because I have to go to bed. You know, so it's like a real prick thing to do. But for her, it's like midnight and I'm like, I'm dying. But for her, because, you know, Perth is, you know, in a different, like, stratosphere. It's, like, hours behind. She's like, oh, what lovely conversation for 9 p.m. I'm like, I'm going to bed. This is fucking dumb. So I'm double tired. But other than that, like, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, man. Just pretty chill. Hanging out. Doing my thing. Okay, let's talk about games. Let's get in the section we talk about games we've been playing, whatever. All right, cool. Done. Let's get in it.
So I've only been playing Diablo 4 again. Yeah, it sucked me in real hard. Season 2, Season of Blood, all vampire and stuff. I am still farming away. I'm now level 88. I can solo almost every boss in the game now because my build is like just ridiculously good.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard have come out and went, we're not nerfing anything. This is the season of fun, y'all.
It's a season of fuck around and find out.
So like, there's no, it's kind of just, it's been chill.
I just built Dream down my front.
I opened Alan Wake 2 again,
Hey,
and went, I'm not in the right headspace for this. I really want to enjoy it. I don't want to be playing it for the sake of playing it just because it's there. Still playing FC24, just playing just against playing against bots. Still trying to get a feel for it until I'm game enough to play online. Because at the moment I know how to play the game. It's essentially the same control scheme as like every FIFA before it, but there's still some nuances that I haven't quite gotten a handle on yet. So I'm still, working out like the perfect time to tackle and stuff, because I don't want to kind of just
keep getting yellow cards. Yeah,
I don't want to keep getting. Oh, I mean, sometimes it's fun if I can like really mess someone up. I'll do it for the fun.
just blow out their shins.
For the clip, I'll do it. But a couple of games ago, they introduced what they call jockeying, where you kind of just hold down a button and your character will just stand in front of the player and just automatically like follow them and block them. And I'm like, I feel like there should be some more nuance than just holding a button and automatically defending.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of trying to change it up a little bit. The game's still great, but yeah, other than that, the main thing I've been playing this week is Diablo 4, and it's really not that exciting.
Oh, that's riveting.
It's literally me just farming items to spawn bosses, then killing the bosses within 10 seconds, and then going off to farm more items to kill said bosses again to get the perfect drops on all my items.
Yeah, see, I can't do any of that. That's how I can one of the reasons that I can tell that you and I have very different ways on how we play games, because to me that sounds utterly dreadful.
I spent 3 hours killing the same boss over and over again the other night just to get the one perfect piece of gear to drop that I needed.
Absolutely no thank you. Ugh. Indeed. All right, my turn. So, played more House Flipper, because I have been. Ugh. Fuck. Yes, played House Flipper, which is cool. A bit more of that. A little bit more UFC, just blowing out more people's faces.
Hang on. Sorry, before you get right into it.
Yeah.
I bought Call of Duty, okay?
Yeah. Why the fuck did you not open with that? Because you had a bucket hat. Where's your bucket hat, Max? No. Max, if we're going to talk Call of Duty, all right. So, Max does this thing every year where he's like, fuck Call of Duty. I'm not going to do it. And then he gets it every year. And this year, he got it once again, even though he said he wasn't gonna. Went and got it. And because he pre-ordered it, it came with like a Captain Price bucket hat. So for a game that he gives no shits, like, he makes these claims that yeah, for a game that he's like, fuck this game, every year he gets it, and now he has a hat.
It is the one game that I buy religiously every year.
Even though you spend at least 2 months going, I ain't gonna get it. The next one looks poo. Ain't touching it. But look, admittedly, no, you gotta put it on over your fucking headphones. There you go. Put your headphones on. Sit on top of your headphones. Because if we're gonna talk Call of Duty, you have to do it appropriately. You gotta be in the dress. Thank you very much.
Now it doesn't fit on my head. Yeah. Anyway,
that makes it better.
So the disclaimer is the only reason why I bought this game is for zombies.
Yes, I'm very aware. I was gonna say, yeah, every year you're like, meh. But this year, like, admittedly, you were like, this new zombies looks sick, and I'm gonna buy this game.
So there's 3 versions of zombies. There are Treyarch zombies, the OG, the round-based system.
The Wave version.
There is Onslaught, which I think Sledgehammer did in...
Yes.
Not Modern Warfare 2, but the one before it. That was us.
Cold War.
So shit. So unbelievably shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this one, which I think Sledgehammer have also done. And it's DMZ zombies. So if you played Warzone 2 and you've played the DMZ game mode, the extraction-based shooter, it is
for those who don't know, DMZ, as Max mentioned, what'd you call it?
An extraction-based
shooter. The idea is you and a bunch of other teams get dropped into a giant map, and it's all about collect as much loot as you can, fucking get out of there, and then go again. So
they've done it for zombies. There are exfil points. There are contracts to do. So it does have an overarching story. So you complete the story missions. So Act 1 is very simple. It's like loot containers, get this stuff, get this stuff, get this stuff, and then at the end of the chapter, you do a story, like a full story mission with cutscenes and everything.
Oh,
And then at the end of the third act, there is a big boss that you fight, but it is essentially an extraction shooter. So you have to go in. You go in with nothing. You got to loot all the stuff. You still get points for killing zombies, but you also get money for looting objects and selling them. You can all the Coca-Cola machines are still there, like Juggernog, all those fun stuff are still there. But you can also bring in, if you exfil with them, you can exfil with extra cans. So you can come in with a can of Juggernog and just be like, straight away, I'm
son
good
of
to
a
go.
bitch! You're winning me. You're winning me over.
Is they've got the field tech from like the latest Black Ops versions of zombies, so like the EMP pulse, all those stuff there in there. You can collect those. The two wonder weapons, the ray gun and the wonder waffle, are blueprints, so you can extract with the case, and then you can infill with a ray gun. It's awesome. There's different ammo types that you can collect as collectible schematics, and you can craft them on a time basis. So I have a few different ammunition types. Pack-a-punch machines are all over the map, and you have to collect certain collectibles to actually power the pack-a-punch machine to pack-a-punch your weapons, and then you infill and exfil with those. It is really cool. It's not OG zombies, but it's really cool. So the way the map is set up is there's three different variations of there's three different zones in the map. So
Depending on like where you are in the story, yeah.
So the outer zone is low risk, where they deem zombies from essentially, they put it into like round terms, zombies from round 1 to round 10.
All right, well, because things I get fucked up at round 7, it's not good for me.
The second zone covers round 15 to 25.
Oh.
And the third zone covers around 50 onwards, and that's where you find like the mangler, like the mini bosses.
Yeah.
So as you travel further in, it gets harder and harder, but that's where the better loot is.
Okay, that risk reward. It's the dark zone.
That's it. Cars are still available, so you can just drive in there, just run over all the zombies. Zombies have armor now. They're faster. It's really cool. So when you infill, it's a 24-player map. So you can see all the human players on the map.
Interesting.
There's no friendly fight. You can't kill other players.
Oh, that's your entire reason to play DMZ. How are you getting around that?
No,
I meant you personally. Like your entire for those that don't know, once again, Max's entire thing. Like after he really kind of cracked the code on DMZ, he's like, I'm just spawn fucking people. Like I'll just like spawn in. I know where it is, I just go. And the idea is kill as many squads as you can, then get out.
Just because you can't shoot them and kill them doesn't mean you can't get them killed. I mean, you could run a huge train of zombies at them and just fuck off and just leave them with like you could do that. You could use them as a scapegoat.
You could do that.
Like you could do that. But if you're running a big event and they see a ton of zombies, people might come and help you. Like that proximity chat's still there. Like it is very different to what zombies has traditionally been, but it's still kind of cool. Because it's essentially just a Modern Warfare 2 expansion too. Everything that you have unlocked from Modern Warfare 2 or from Warzone instantly unlocked. So you can just come in, you can use an insured slot to come in with like a fucking souped up weapon ready to go. Like it literally works exactly like DMZ, but it's way more forgiving because you're not going to get randomly fucked on by like another human player.
Cool. Because your exact behavior in DMZ made me hate it.
So I've kind of been enjoying it, but I currently don't have any friends to play with because all my friend groups are like, no, we're not getting it this year. They get it every year. They say they're not going to get it. They'll get it eventually.
Look, you are selling me on it and you're tempting me. I'll have to ponder on it. Mostly because I'm going interstate for work this coming week. So I don't know what my internet's like.
Very nice.
I was super excited because when I put the disc, because I bought a disc version. When I put the disc in, I didn't have to install anything. Nothing needed to be downloaded because it's just an extension. Because Call of Duty has a fucking launcher now. Essentially, it already updated.
Oh yeah, it's like Call of Duty HQ or something.
Because I had Warzone installed on my console, it automatically fucking installed everything. I had to install 180 gig worth of bullshit to play, but it did it automatically. Yeah. It's so big.
That is so many gigs.
I'm not installing the campaign because from what I've heard, the campaign is hot to do.
Oh no.
And multiplayer is currently broken as fuck, and a lot of maps have been disabled because the spawns are just wrong.
Yeah, I have heard that.
You can shoot someone and they'll spawn directly in front of you where you killed them. So they've just been disabling. They've just been disabling maps that just don't spawn properly.
All right, cool. All right, in this case, I'm going to reiterate a point that I made last show. I think a couple weeks ago. If Microsoft Studios and Microsoft fan peoples want to be like, man, Starfield is an absolute fucking win for Microsoft. It's amazing, even though none of its development was done while we owned them. Then they can take that credit. In that case, if they want to use that same thought process and go, nah, Call of Duty, this wasn't made when Activision was owned by Microsoft, therefore it's not deemed an exclusive. They own this studio now, mate. All right, you can't pick and choose. If you want to say that Starfield's yours, or an award, an achievement for Microsoft when they had fucking nothing to do with it, just they owned them. Well, they bought Activision, they bought ABK before this game released. Technically, if that's the same thought, this is a Microsoft exclusive. You're fucked.
It's funny though, because for the longest time, Call of Duty has been on a 3-team development cycle.
Yeah,
so
like one team this year, one team next year, one team.
Each team gets essentially a 2-year break. I'm pretty sure Sledgehammer and Treyarch have done the last 3 or 4.
Yeah, Infinity Ward, because there was
Raven have just disappeared.
Well, Raven were, from memory, Raven were given a big lead on a previous year, and they fucked it. It was the year that the game came without a campaign. Oh, what was that?
I can't remember.
That was Black Ops 4.
Probably.
I think it was Black Ops 4.
Maybe.
Yeah, there was original plans for a campaign, but then Raven and Sledge just shit the bed. I think it was. Yeah. And then they went, And then now they're just kind of like, you do this, you do that, you do that. We have a year.
Well, but apparently, the OG Call of Duty is still the best-selling one at the fastest rate. They just haven't been able to recapture that magic. They've just been progressively getting more and more shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but it will still be the best-selling game of the year. It's gonna 100% happen.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting. I totally forgot that I played fucking Call of Duty.
That's fine. Most people.
All you flip some more houses for me.
Yeah. So I did house flipping. That was cool. UFC, kick some more faces in, punch some more faces. That was fun.
Have you played online yet?
No.
You know what? We should play online.
All right, you and me just bullshit.
I think we're equally shit.
That's true. We are equally shit. That could happen. That'd be a good boost. I think that could work. One thing, so we picked up Alan Wake. I went to install it on the console, and it's like, yo, your PS5's fucking full. I'm like, dude, I have the base storage plus an SSD. What the shit? So I start going through all the games that I have installed. I'm like, all right, sort by largest to smallest. All right, give me what's the largest thing I have on here, and it's like, oh, it's Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot I didn't finish that. Oops, my bad. I was like, oh, I'll just delete it. Then I went, nah, I think I was pretty close. I'd feel pretty shitty if I just deleted it. And I know I'm not going to go back unless I finish it. If I delete it, I ain't finishing it. So I spent a bit of this week doing what I can to get credits on it. And I did roll credits on Jedi Survivor. Game's good. I really enjoyed it. The PopCulturists equally shit, says Craig. Trademark. I'll put that on a shirt. Oh yeah. And also shout out to Craig for being a subscriber on Tier 1 for his 68th month. Thanks, man. It's almost nice. Even though the sound effect was nice. Yeah, so that's cool. Game's great. Really fun. But the downside, Max. Because it uses that Soulsborne-y style combat, and I haven't played it since it released, I forgot how to properly play it. So it kicked my dick in for a while. And then I remembered that I'm only playing this to roll credits. Who cares? So I dropped it down in difficulty. Became much better. That is why Soulsborne games should have difficulty sliders. Thank you for coming for my TED Talk. No, the game's cool. The ending of this one was substantially better than the ending of Jedi Fallen Order, mostly because everything that you had been working towards through the entire game didn't just turn out to be a giant MacGuffin and meant nothing. So thankfully this one, everything you've been working for the entire game paid off, but also left enough for there to be a third, because there will be. You just know it. Did you roll creds on Survivor?
No, I got about halfway through.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Been playing a bit of that. Also, we were kindly provided codes to a game called Jerdman in the chat. I'm late, but how good is the new Wish PS5? Also, hello. I presume they're meaning the new PS5 Slim. A lot of pictures of it have leaked as of last week, and even more this week now that it's out in the wild. And it does. It really looks like one of those versions that you'd pick up at a Kmart, and it's called like the Game Station, and it comes with a bunch of emulated bullshit on it. That's what it looks like. Like if the previous comments around the PS5 looking like a router, they had no idea until they released the PS5 Slim. That motherfucker looks like you would get some severely average in and out off it.
I thought you were talking about the PlayStation Portal.
No, the Portal looks mint, and I want one so bad. Like, seeing it in principle, like, because it is literally just a screen with two fucking controllers jammed in it, right? There's no bezel, there's no housing for all of it. It's just bam. And I'm like, that looks like a shit. Like, you want a carry case and you want a screen protector, something, you're gonna need them things. But I will be very interested, and I believe they're coming to Australia early next year. So I will be harassing the team over at PlayStation Australia and Poem, being like, yo, I would like to try one. I travel a lot for work, so this could be really cool. And then the other thing, because like, they've announced the release dates for the new headsets, the earbuds and the other ones. I've harassed PlayStation about them too. I was like, yeah, I'll fuck around with them. Why not? Let's give it a bell. Like, we talked about this last week, because I don't like earbuds. You do. I like over ears. You're fine with them. You know, it's kind of like, oh, cool. Let's fuck with them both. Let's share it and have fun. And if a Slim is available, that'd be awesome. Because as I mentioned, I'm traveling for work even next week, and I do it like at least once a month. Having a PS5 that is substantially smaller would be the best. So if there's PS5 Slims out there that you need a little practice, you know, I'll give it a burl. I'll try it and show the actual size differences. I don't even think it's being sold here yet.
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
They are officially live in America, though.
Yes, they are. It's most certainly true. What else? What else have I been playing? Two other games. I want to see how long I could do that before I annoyed someone, and the answer was probably before I finished. So there's a game called Cat Quest. Like, I think there was a state of play semi recently where they showed off this game. I think it was called Cat Quest, Pirates of the Caribbean. It looked really interesting. I was like, oh, cool. I think my son would like this game. And then it's kind of a series of games. So Cat Quest, which is the first one, it's this kind of I don't know, little RPG. It's pretty straightforward. It's $3 on sale. Like, sure. Turns out my James loves it, which is cool. So it's very simple little RPG, kind of like baby's first RPG. It's very simple armor system, very simple magic system, and it's like it's all upgradable, and it's kind of forgiving in that, like, when you die, you don't lose all the XP that you've gained since your last death. It just respawns you back at the local town, and you just go back and you try again. So it's really kind of nice in terms of giving you the taste of an RPG and the grind and the build and like the loot, etc. But then not having you like kick your shit in, because like if you're a kid and you can't get past this one boss encounter, right? Like, and even if you lose all your XP or whatever and you go back, you're gonna be in the same spot. Like they don't have the cognitive ability to think about how they attack that scenario from a different angle. They'll just keep running it the same way. So this is a great way to allow them to upskill, and then when they go back and say they've died enough times and they've gone up 3 levels, they're like, I did it. I tried really hard. I committed. I was resilient, and I won. And it's like, well, yeah, technically that's true, but like your skill level is about the same. But, it's one of those things, like, it's one of those first ones that then may drip into another RPG, which may extend over there. Joeban in the chat does ask, have you jumped into Sandrock? I have not. So Sandrock is, it's a...
My Time at Porsche.
What was it, sorry?
It's the My Time at Porsche.
Yes, that's right.
thing,
So it's essentially a spiritual sequel to My Time at Porsche. Is it even on consoles yet? I don't think it is. No, I don't think it is.
It is for Jared.
It is for Jared. No, Jared's been playing on PC, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so like I'm keen because I quite liked My Time at Porsche, and you know me, love a good farming game. But no, I haven't checked it out yet. Oh, last week it came out. Oh, well, I didn't see it on the PlayStation Store. Maybe I was not paying attention. The other thing I played as well, there was a game that I saw. It looked AA as shit, and it's 100% AA as shit. It was in the part of the PS Plus, whatever the tier that has free game trials. There's a game called The Green Hill Incident. It's this AA as all fuck, first person, little spooky-ish sort of game where you're the aliens and you see alien invasions and your little shitty town. The main character's name was Ryan, which was fun because James thought my son thought that was hysterical. It's like, it's named after you, Dad. I'm like, no, I'm sure they picked it before they knew me, but that's fine. So that was like average. I did the 30-minute trial and I was like, yeah, that's enough. It plays janky. The controls are shit. The UI is fucked. It's very clearly not good. It's functional, but it is so much room for improvement. It is not very, very good. That's about it, really. All right, let's get to the section we call Inform the Players. We tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation. Now, Max, as I mentioned before we started recording, I'm shuffling this news about because we are opening this week with what should be the number one piece of news, Max, but you didn't put it there, Max, because we need good click-through, Max.
Yeah, well, I just closed it, didn't I? Fuck. So, let me pull that back.
I'll give you absolute shit. Who cares?
I got it.
All right.
It's finally happening, everyone.
Yeah. What is
I'm making OnlyFans.
Oh!
No. No. So, the rumor this week, for the longest time, was we could be getting a GTA 6 trailer this week. Well, guess what? Everyone was fucking wrong again. But Rockstar did come out with a tweet thread. Next month marks the 25th anniversary of Rockstar Games. Thanks to the incredible support of our players worldwide, we have had the opportunity to create games we are truly passionate about and release them on every single console, every generation. Without you, none of this would be possible, and we are so grateful to all of you for sharing this journey with us. In 1998, Rockstar Games was founded on the idea that video games could come to be as essential to culture as any other form of entertainment. And we hope that we have created games you love in our efforts to be part of that evolution. We are very excited to let you know that in early December, the Game Awards, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. Thank you, Sam Hauser.
So, first thing, Max, Reverend Puck puts in the chat. Please, You knew Jeff Keighley locked that exclusive trailer launch down for the Game Awards. Are we seeing this at the Game Awards?
Yes.
See, this is an interesting thing. I think the answer is yes as well, but 100%. Knowing that Rockstar could just launch it on a fucking random Tuesday and it still be the most viewed trailer ever. That mustache, thank you, Duty. It's disgusting. It's so bad. Please
will
donate. November.
It will either open or close the show.
Oh, it's closing that motherfucker.
No, hang on. It depends on if Kojima has something. Because if Kojima has something, you know he's getting prime real estate.
Yes. However, look, Grand Theft Auto... actually, that's a very good point. So the problem is Grand Theft Auto is going to drown out anything. Anything that gets mentioned in Game Awards will be drowned out by Grand Theft Auto. So... I guess it's a lose-lose, really. You open the show with it, everyone goes, doesn't watch the rest of the show.
And everything's disappointing after.
Yeah. Or they leave it, they close with it, and everyone's like, You know, the entire live chat would be, this isn't GTA. This isn't GTA. Where's GTA? Why the fuck are we not talking about GTA? Even like they could show a game that like cures fucking cancer, and they're like, boo, that's not GTA. And then they end it. Everyone goes, and then like you could announce the best games. They could be like, hey, every game the game that you love, yes, the one that you sits in here, in your heart of hearts, the game that you have the most absolute fucking nostalgia for in this world, the game that makes you feel happy, it feels safe, it's everything. It's like, that game could be announced, and then everyone's going to go, even like each individual person, they just show however many people are in the world, they show all these games that would sing to you specifically, and that game will instantly get like buried by GTA. This game will give you a reach around, says Jerd. Everyone goes, yeah, boo, where's GTA? This game will be like, this game, you play it, you get $1 million and it'll suck your dick. Or your front, whatever your front area is, it will be kind to it. Everyone's going to go, that's not GTA, boo. So there is a hassle. And like, it's one of those things, like, they could just launch it, they could just throw it out there, and then no one is going to boo. Even though Rockstar is going to be absolutely assaulted every second in December that they have not spoken about it.
So, when's it coming out?
Late 24.
You reckon they're going to announce it a year in advance and have people
Yes.
pester them for an entire fucking year?
Yes. Couple of reasons, because I'm pretty sure you might want to fact check me on this one, Puck or Max. I feel that when GTA 5 was announced, I think there may have been an equivalent of a year or like a good long stretch, but I think it got delayed from memory, so that may be affecting it. No, the other one, when it got port to PS4, it got delayed, I think.
So GTA 5 was announced in 2011.
Yes,
and it released in 2013.
So a year. It seems rough. Get out of here, Max.
But I think there was a shorter gap between 5 and 4.
Correct.
Yeah. Because this game, there's been no GTA in 10 years.
But we've had Red Dead Redemption 2, which is fantastic. So, when do you think it'll come out then?
I actually think it's going to be later. I actually think it's going to be 2025.
Like early 25, maybe? Okay, yeah, checks out.
What I would love to see is for them to just fuck up February next year.
No, this is the thing, right? So I think they're aware. Rockstar.
I think from memory, GTAs tend to back end the year.
Yes. So Rockstar tends San Andreas came out in October. GTA 5 came in September. Yeah. And I think 4 was the same. 4 was around then. Around September, October. So yeah, because I have a distinct memory of getting San Andreas. Because San Andreas came out the middle of October. My birthday is the first week of November. My mum bought it for me for my birthday. But I couldn't get it until my birthday. But she bought it day one. And then she would just put it in places around the house. Until my birthday, where I was able to play it. So I could read the manual, I could look at the cover. I'd open this cupboard to get my cereal in the morning, and there it is inside the cereal box almost. You son of a bitch. But yeah, on the morning of my birthday, I got to wake up. It was on my bedside table, and I got to play it for as long as I wanted. It was the best thing in the world. So, how do you think this is going to go? So there's a couple of things here, and I'll run through some of the things that at least I'm considering, right? So, as I've titled the episode, it's GTA 6, Reboot, Online Only, Remake, what are we looking at? Because at no point in the statement that you read out, Max, that Sam Houser delivered, had they mentioned GTA 6. They just went, the next Grand Theft Auto. So, that could mean a remake of, say, Vice City. It could be a remaster, which it won't be, because they've remastered them. That was poo. And all this build up and they just give us Liberty City stories again. That'd be cool. No, wouldn't at all. Is GTA 4 getting a remake or a remaster? Because I think it's unquestionably one of the better ones. In a time where the reason they have not made any DLC for 5 after they made some great DLC for 4, they never extended on it because GTA Online is this $1 billion cash cow. And we're heading into a side of this industry where single player experiences are still enjoyed and favored, but it's where the money is. And this game, I promise you, has cost upwards of, I'm going to say, at least $500 million, $500 million easy to develop this game.
Yeah, but they make that in 1 month in online, so
Yes, but they still got to make it back, because that's the consideration. Are they dead and burying GTA Online? Are they creating GTA Online 2? Or, and this is my theory, very similar to Call of Duty with them making Call of Duty HQ, very similar to Assassin's Creed World, whatever it is, I believe that they are essentially going to just create, it's not GTA 6, it's just called Grand Theft Auto. It will be a online experience, so essentially GTA Online, but they will release sort of sections or like DLC essentially that are story driven, like spaces, like where there'll be single player. You go in your own little instance for a while and you play out this little campaign, whether it be a couple of hours long, and then you go off back into the bigger world. So they kind of have this feeling that it is living, breathing, shared world, but also giving you moments of or the single player beauty that is GTA. And I was talking to my partner about this because she didn't quite understand like what Grand Theft Auto sort of is outside of what she saw her brother play. And for me, I was like, no, it's way deeper than what it is, than what it appears to be. Because even GTA 3, there was nothing else like it. Like now we have games that do everything that GTA ever did. But at the time, the games have been like shooter games have been made, racing games have been made, story-driven games have been made, and so on and so on and so on. But no one had ever brought them all together in the way GTA 3 or Grand Theft Auto had existed with GTA 3. So that is why I think what this next one is, it's considered a GTA hub, and for whatever happens moving forward, everything will exist within this product. It's GTA 5. Now, what does that mean for console generations? Don't fucking matter. We have seen GTA 5 be transferred to collectively 3 generations of console. They know how to bring it to the next one, right? So the idea, very similar to WoW. Like I remember when World of Warcraft launched or whatever, and then X amount of years in, there was, I remember which DLC it was. Cataclysm, thank you. Where they essentially went, hey, we have reworked the back end. It's up-resed. Here's new graphics. There's some new animations. Here you go. It's still World of Warcraft, but it's enhanced. That's what I see them doing moving forward. They'll find it, they'll enhance it. Very similar to Destiny. They'll get rid of some shit, some legacy stuff. They'll bring in some new stuff. So you get all the benefits of GTA Online with all the benefits of the single player story all mushed together. Because the point I was making about GTA, like no one had ever mushed all these different genres of games together in a one living experience. This, I believe, could be. They have the skill, they have the money, they have the potential to deliver a beautifully seamless single player and multiplayer experience together as one. What do you think, Max? How do you see this next GTA coming together?
I mean, exactly that. I mean, it technically already exists because you can download GTA Online as a standalone application. Then you can install the GTA 5 story mode, and you can just select, when you boot it up, you can select whether you're going online or and just into campaign mode. So there's no reason why they can't just tack on an extra campaign tab on the other side and be like, okay, just do GTA 6. I think GTA Online will be its own thing, and they'll just integrate it. For the longest time, the growing rumor was you would go to the airport in the current GTA Online, and you would leave all your shit behind, and you would fly to the new area and play what is perceivably GTA Online 2. So all your stuff would still exist in the old area, but you would have to start fresh in the new area, because otherwise you'd have all those pay-to-win fucks tearing shit up at the very start. I like that idea. I don't think that's how it's going to work. I think it'll be more in line to what you suggested with like Call of Duty now, where it'll just be a different map. You pick the map you're going to play on.
But I think that idea. But you've brought up a very good point that I hadn't considered. I was trying to work out how would they keep GTA Online originally still existing, because people invented. Sorry, people have invested thousands and thousands and thousands of hours and/or dollars, and they can't just wipe that. People will shit themselves. But like going like this exists over here, you can go back to it at any point. All your character, all your progression is still there.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of you get on a flight and you fly to a different country, different area, and like they can even do that throughout. Every time they release that new big DLC, they can go, "Hey, it's a different country." We get to like. Because GTA, like, what it's known for is it's satire of America, but like, I want to see them rip on everything else.
I mean, to a degree, it still leaves a sour taste in your mouth of I've spent all this money over here and I can't use it over here. Like, it, especially
like maybe you can take like cosmetics and like your character, like weapons and whatever. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Hopefully the trailer is not just a cinematic trailer. Hopefully it gives us some information. Hopefully it's like a little bit of gameplay. Hopefully it does show what they're going to do with GTA Online. Hopefully it's not just one of those, teaser story trailers where it lasts for like 45 seconds. It gives you a little glimpse of what it's going to be, but it ultimately tells you nothing.
I don't look. The amount of radio silence they've had about Grand Theft Auto in this time, I think there is no way that they would do that. Mostly because when they announced GTA 5, they did exactly that. They went, here's the story, and then they went, and wait, there's more. Here's online, and here's how online works.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that trailer going, oh man, I'm just so excited for this story. Like, I can't wait for this next Grand Theft Auto. And then they went, and here's Grand Theft Auto Online. It's coming a couple of weeks after launch, because it took some time. It will come. But this is what it is. This is the beats. This is what you play. This is what you experience. Now, granted, GTA Online is nothing like what they originally pitched. Go watch that trailer. It was much simpler times. Back then, for fun, we would just go steal a semi truck and chase each other on, like, they're on BMXs, and we would just chase each other in semi trucks. Like, now it's very, very different. Actually, Puck has corrected me. The first trailer was just 2 minutes of San Andreas sights. That's true. The very first trailer was just like showing off the area and being like dun, 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 GTA 6. That's very true. Actually, the follow-up trailer is the one I'm thinking of. My apologies. See, this is why Puck's amazing. They do the actually the best. All right. So with that in mind. Now, Max, you and I, over the years, have spent many hours in Grand Theft Auto. Like, you and I, previously, would at least once a year boot it back up, normally over the Christmas break, and spend, like, get really into it for about 2 weeks, and then delete it and never play it again. You and I have done various heists together. We've done various bank robberies and art thieves and, submarine things. I assume the answer for both of us is, yeah, we're going to play the shit out of it.
Yes. Yeah. Goes without saying.
What do you need it to have?
Honestly, nothing. I think they've got everything that one could possibly need already. I just want different locations. Like, let me do the same crazy shit that I've always been able to do. Just let me do it somewhere else. Give me a little bit of variety. Maybe like, I wasn't a huge fan of GTA 5's map. I didn't like the super dense city, and then the rest of the map is just fucking bullshit open areas. I need a little bit more variety around the map. But other than that, like, give us more heists in different spots. Give us all of those things. Just, crank it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the main part, like, the game as a whole, as it currently stands, is fantastic. And there's a reason why people keep going back and doing the same thing that they've been doing for the longest time. It's because it's still fun. Like, they nailed it. They don't. See, like,
it's interesting. Like for me, what I need out of this is I want that single player campaign.
Yeah.
Like no, like what brings me in, and I was having it once again, having especially with this about my partner, was I love how they take on American culture in numerous generations, right? You know, obviously San Andreas in the 90s, the 80s with Vice City, the 2000s with GTA 4, and then the 2010s with GTA 5. I'm curious to see how they lampoon American culture now in that even though the world feels the same, like visually I don't see, we talked about this in an old episode once, where I don't see it being too visually different because the world hasn't really drastically changed in style or whatever in the last 10, 20 years. So like it will like GTA 4 will feel like GTA 6 essentially. 5 will definitely feel like 6. Because of that monoculture doesn't exist anymore. The idea that we collectively live in one shared culture. We now live in a world of microcultures. But I still think there's enough of what's happening in this world, whether it be the socio-political space of America, whether it be, you know, everyone super heading to the various lefts or rights, or and et cetera, et cetera. I think that will be ripped on pretty hard. I think Grand Theft Auto has the same space as South Park, where they are safe enough to rip on anything, and it can work. I would like to see them do some different things with those characters in that story and how they choose to poke the world with that. I certainly hope they don't play it safe in the way that Saints Row did. I do wonder how the story is going to go. So with every game since GTA 1 that Rockstar have ever made, they have been written and created under Dan and Sam Houser. Dan Houser's left. I think Sam Houser is around. I don't know what his role is anymore. But like, will it have classic GTA feel in how it's written, how it's told, how it satires everything? They are the things that I needed to have. They're the things that interest me the most. In like, all right, well, if the writing team has changed, will it still feel like GTA? Final question before we transition to something else. Actually, Jerdman in the chat, before I jump into that, Jerdman in the chat jumps in and goes, do you wonder if Rockstar are going to utilize the roleplay community that they have brought and have it within the game, as in providing official servers? The roleplay community in GTA is massive. Like, I thought about jumping into it once, and then I realized it's like literally Second Life, and I can't do that. I'm barely good at my own life. I don't want a second one. And then having to like play character the whole time is just painful to me. Do you think they'll get RP support?
No.
Easy. Done.
I think it's too much drama. I think it's too much effort for them.
There's a lot of hassle, a lot of shit in that. Not very fun. Okay. Oh, hang on. Puck jumps in and goes, I believe that Rockstar hired/brought the company that made the original RP software. Maybe that's more of a control thing rather than like we're bringing it in house. Like, well, we control you.
Yeah.
I guess what is my final question around GTA 6? How do you think the collective world will respond to this? Because the power of expectations right now is massive. And people just collectively shit on things now.
It depends. If the game comes out and is less than ideal, it'll be buried. But if it comes out and it's of equal quality to GTA 5 or higher, it'll be the best game in the world.
Okay. I think if this game is anything less than perfection, they're everyone, Because right now, like we said, there's no nuance anymore, right? Collectively, everyone is like, majority of it. It's like if a game's on a 9+, it's fucking useless. The game is disgusting, piece of shit. With GTA, there's an expectation around GTA. Like most, like 3, San Andreas, everything since except for the shitty remakes. Like from the original release of 3 through to 5, they have all been essentially 10 out of 10 games. The expectation on games has changed drastically since 2011. People they want to be able to do more, see more, have it be the highest fidelity, the best frame rate. They want the biggest world you can ever make without showing any sort of technical hindrance. They want everything, and they're not willing to compromise on that anything. It's going to be such a challenge for Rockstar to deliver a game of that quality without someone cracking it. Now, whether it be, we when the games have previously come out, like there was controversy around the topics that they chose to cover. We are more polarized as a world, as a society than ever before. The amount of players that didn't understand the nuances of Trevor being the player, and they are poking fun at you, the player, for how you play. They went, we're going to make a character that is exactly all the worst kind of players that we have. And everyone went, Trevor's the fucking best, rather than having the understanding of, like, they're poking fun at you.
Yeah.
So I see that. Like, if they chose to make scenarios that pick on the left, they'll be furious. But if they make characters that pick on the right, they'll be furious. Even if they pick on both, everyone will just be furious. I think, this is me being very cynical, admittedly. I truly see this as an absolute no-win scenario. Will people buy it and play it, and will it still be the best-selling thing in existence? Unquestionably. But, am I excited for it? You fucking damn right I am. Am I going to buy it? You damn right I am. But I fear, and I do not envy the marketing team or any of the team at Rockstar for having to put this game together. Yeah. The Mullet Show. Its release date had become a meme in itself. It has to be legendary to live up to that. Think about all the things. Now, granted, what they released was very subpar. But think about all the things that had this much hype leading into it because it took so long. Last Guardian, game was average. Duke Nukem Forever, game was shithouse. Even outside of games, the sequel to Matrix, everyone kind of pooed on it. In music, Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy. How many years did that album take to come out? Shit on it. Done. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where, like, anything that's taken a long time to come together, to be released, the expectations is built and built and built and built and built and built. The only way is for disappointment. And one of the things, everyone kind of wants it to be a Vice City sort of, take us to Vice City or something. If it's not that, people will shit themselves. If it's, hey, it's a new, different take on the 2020s, people will still shit on it. It's a no-win scenario. No-win scenario. Let us know what you think of GTA 6 if we talk about it for, like, easily half an hour. Easily. All right, now we get into the other sections, Max. Oh, you did the first one. It's my turn. Max has written, we're in the Sony news section, and they said, "It's gonna be me." As has been reflected in other parts of Europe, like in France, where Sony currently is beating Xbox Series X and S by a ratio of 90%. The PS5 has gained a 51% market share in the UK over the past 6 months. By comparison, Nintendo has just 25% of the market share, while Microsoft has dipped as low as 23%. This demonstrates serious growth for Sony's device, and as its overall share throughout the past 12 months is about 43%. It shows that the PS5 has been on an upward trajectory these past 6 months, while its rivals have declined. According to data analysis GfK, this is all due to the aggressive price promotions and the release of Sony's recent EA Sports FC24 bundle, all of which have done wonders for Sony's next-gen console in Britain. Now, I think there's a couple other factors in here, is that Microsoft haven't really been releasing any major exclusives of note. I reckon Starfield moved a bunch of Xboxes, but no, I think it really moved a bunch of PC copies, really. Like, with Game Pass, there's no reason to buy the console. It's a challenge that they have to face by going into a subscription model. Nintendo, their console's really lacking in terms of power and its ability, and we're seeing games that were constant shoo-ins by the likes of Pokemon just missing and being shitty, and apart from Arceus, just running like hot garbage. And then you have, Mario Wonder, which appears from all accounts to be absolutely amazing, but they are coming few and far between. And as even though people are admittedly happy to drink the Nintendo Kool-Aid and play a subpar game on a subpar console, a subpar powered console, I should say, maybe that's starting to not pay off. Because the people can't buy consoles anymore when they're not releasing a new one. The Nintendo Switch came out in 2017? Everyone that's had it, everyone that wants a Switch has a Switch.
Yeah. Yep. Well, speaking about consoles coming out, I can't believe it's not Vita. The PlayStation Portal is almost upon us, sort of marking the return to the handheld gaming market for Sony. Devices are currently out in the wild. Reviews seem to be readily available. Check out footage if you are interested in this streaming device. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It is super not for me. I can already do everything that this does by using a PlayStation controller and my phone or my tablet.
For me, I said I'm curious. I want it. I'll play it. I'll check it out. It looks cool. It looks breakable. It looks breakable as all hell.
I don't think I've ever used the share play function on my PlayStation 5.
Share play, no. Remote, yes.
Remote play, sorry.
Yeah. So I use remote play mostly to install games when I'm not here, or to remote into my son's PS4 to help him get past something or to sort something out if it's something being weird. I have attempted to try to use it when I'm in a state and it's a bit rough, but that's because, and then obviously with your phone's not a dedicated, it's not a dedicated device. So like I'll be trying to play and I'll get an SMS or I get a Facebook message and I go to respond to it, and then I have to, then my PS5 shuts off because that's when a remote play disconnects, it turns off the console, which is frustrating. And the Vita, with its original like idea of remote play, it was really cool until Wi-Fi speeds got super better and it just simply doesn't have the functionality for it. Like it has 3G functionality. That's the level of transmitter the Vita has. It's a bit rough. But look, I'm keen. It's a fucking poo that you can't like install things on it. It's completely a remote play device, but I'm curious to fuck with it. To see if it can work for me in the scenario that I need it to, because there are, at least a quarter of my month I'm not at home, and I'd like to play games. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? For the past 2 quarters, Sony has failed to provide an update on PS Plus's total number of subscribers. Sony is not required to reveal this statistic, of course, but it's always provided an interesting point of reference as the figure fluctuates throughout the year. Generally, the service has hit a ceiling of around 50 million members, although it has managed to extract more money from existing users with the introduction of its tier delivery of Extra and Premium. It's particularly interesting that Sony has stopped sharing updates as it rolls out a massive price increase, which is sure to have an impact on the numbers of paying members moving forwards. Subscriptions have generally hit a bit of a wall of late, with even Microsoft's heavily publicized Xbox Game Pass service failing to find significant growth in the United States specifically. Back in August, Sony said it'll no longer share the numbers, but it'll be interesting to see if it ever changes its stance. The company didn't cite a reason for its decision, instead implied its focus on improving the service primarily. Now, this even goes back to like something as simple as PlayStation Australia used to provide us the weekly top-selling games, and they just stopped. The PlayStation blog just stopped. They used to do it, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, like, you can't No one can question the data when it's not given to them.
Yeah.
Do you think this is some malicious intent, Max?
No, I think it's just probably their numbers are dwindling, and they're like, let's not advertise that.
Or Netflix never released their numbers.
Yeah.
As an example.
Yeah, that's it. Live service delays. So Sony slashed its live service plans, announcing that 6 of its 12 in-production projects will not release by March 2026 as previously planned. Sony was plotting to launch the dozen or so titles by the end of its 2025 fiscal year, but in an earnings call, Sony's Hiroki Totoki confirmed that it's since scaled back its ambitions. Quote, "We are trying as much as possible to ensure these games are enjoyed and liked by gamers for a long time." Makes sense. They're live service games. They want to be enjoyed for a long time. Of the 12 titles, 6 titles will be released by financial year 2025. That's our current plan. As for the remaining 6 titles, we are still working on that. That's the total number of live service and multiplayer titles, and mid to long term, we want to push this kind of service, and that's the unchanged policy of the company. It's not like we stick to certain titles, but game quality should be most important. End quote.
Now, funny enough, Max, you and I were privy to some information around some of these a while ago. Couldn't say anything, but we were aware of a couple of live service games that were meant to have already released. They haven't, and they won't for a little while longer. So it's very, very. I do love when we occasionally get to have like some scoop, and then we just sit on it and don't tell anyone because it's like we're not big enough for it to take any traction, and we were told in confidence. So like I'm not going to go into any more details about it, but like we were aware of there being some live service games that should have already released but haven't, and we were given the reasons as to why. Those things we won't discuss. It's interesting now where we sit with the information that we all collectively have, with the likes of Bungie coming in being like, you guys aren't doing a good job, and they turn around and their shit's fucked, and they're like, oh no. So like it's one of those things where I guess from the information we have, Max, do you see this being as them going, we put all our eggs into the Bungie basket, we took all their advice and they fucked us?
Well,
do we have to pivot everything back, or what?
I mean, to be fair, we've only heard about Bungie coming in on the Last of Us title. I mean, like, it's not going to work. We don't know for certain that they've come in on all 12 titles and be like, it's not.
No. I mean this in more of the bigger approach with the likes of Jim Ryan. That's been their entire focus. They're gone, or they're going, and especially on the back of Connie Booth being literally fired, and then now we're starting to hear rumbles that maybe Sean Layden was also fired previously, and Jim Ryan may have also been fired as well. Like mostly, at least with Connie Booth, the safe presumption is on the back of her supporting this move to live services.
Yeah, it was definitely like an interesting change of pace for Sony, who has for the longest time been that single player narrative game. It'll be interesting to see, like, you know, this could work well for them, or it could be a horrible disaster of too little, too late.
Mm-hmm.
Because and just the sheer number of them, because most people can only sustain 1 to 2 live service games at any given time.
Or if you're me, you can't do any.
Like, to release 12 in such in what appears to be such a short period of time, because they're due out with 12 games in the next 3 years, and they want to be live service games, so they want to have some, you know, some longevity to them. They're literally releasing 12 competing games that are all going to compete for their players' time against each other. You're not playing all 12 of those titles. You'd be lucky to play 6 of those titles, especially if they're live service games. It seems crazy to me, but what do I know?
Yeah. So, yeah, and I think that's just a greater sort of look at the market in terms of everyone, you know, like time is, there's a finite amount of time that we all have access to, as you've mentioned, and then people, you know, you were married to Destiny. When was the last time you played Destiny?
Oh, I don't think I'll be playing Destiny again until the final shape comes out.
See, even
they announced their new seasonal content for next season, and that season's going to last literally until the new game comes out. Yeah, so it's going to be like a fucking 8-month season. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Like even like you, who's someone who the way you love to play is shared experiences, multiplayer, co-op-y stuff. Brilliant for live services. You, who are the tailored person for games as a service, goes, yeah, even the one I've been playing for the last 9 years. No,
I mean,
thanks.
we started with a team of 8. There's only 2 of us left. And I'm one of the 2 that's barely there. Like, you know.
And the idea of like giving out 12, like, because you know every studio ever is wanting to release games as services right now, a games as a service game right now, where you know it starts with full intentions and they give it 2 months, or it releases shittily and incomplete, and they spend more time trying to fix the game than actively delivering the things that they need for that game to be playable in the foreseeable future. All the things they promise, like, hey, here's our roadmap for the next year. They don't make the year because they spend the first 4 months just repairing the fucking game. And then you do that 12 times? Like, it's possible that one of them may have stuck. One. But to their credit, if they're willing to throw 12 out and pick the one that sticks, I don't think they have the money or resources to do that, but okay. Now, Max, you and I shit on Twitter. Like, we love Twitter. I love Twitter. You're on Twitter sometimes.
I like Twitter.
Twitter's fun. But it's gone pretty downhill, like just all the time. It's getting worse, and it's going to get worse. And demonstration that it's getting worse is even Sony were like, nah. So Sony is set to turn off Twitter integration on its PS5 and PS4 systems next week. So not like in a month from now, next week. But it's possible the site owner Elon Musk may step in and try to stop the move. In a response to a Twitter news coverage profile complaining about the decision, which was already taken effect on the Xbox side of things, he said, quote, "I will look into this." Thanks, Elon. The SpaceX Tesla fuckhead says a lot of things are on social media sites, so whatever actually happens to happen, who fucking knows? So originally, before I get into that, once integration with Twitter is disabled on Monday the 13th of November, PS5 and PS4 owners will no longer have the ability to upload screenshots, videos directly from their console. Workarounds include the PS4 app, downloading the pictures and whatever to your smartphone, and then or transferring it from a USB and then uploading it on your computer or on your device, whatever. An alert was sent out to PS5 and PS4 users that said, quote, "As of November 13, 2023, integration with X, formerly known as Twitter, will no longer function on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 consoles. This includes the ability to view any content published on X on the PS5 or PS4, and the ability to post and view content, trophies, and other gameplay-related activities on X directly from the consoles or any X-linked account." Now, Max, this is from a company that put a button on their controller with the entire idea of publishing and sharing, it's the share button, your shit to social media, like Twitter. Now, remember, there was a time when people were like accidentally like leaking shit because their trophies would post to Twitter.
It's just become too expensive.
Well, because the cost of the API is fucked, in it.
So there's multiple tiers. So access to the API, which had previously been free, was replaced with a far more restrictive option. Basic access for hobbyists or prototypes. It's $100 per month.
Ugh.
The next level up is the Pro tier for startups scaling their business. That goes for $5,000 per month. While the Enterprise tier, which would roughly be where Sony's scale needs to be, offers different monthly subscription prices based on usage and needs that start at $42,000 per month.
Now, granted, that for the amount of money, like when we've got a company that that makes billions of dollars potentially, like that seems like a drop in the sand. But as they mentioned, it scales.
It starts at 42.
Yeah, so it starts. So I reckon they'll get to points of like hundreds of thousands of dollars for the likes of Sony. And Sony went, well, this, you know, it's odd that Twitter has essentially become pay to win.
To be fair, they may have turned around and looked at their data and been like, fuck, all people are hitting the share button and uploading shit. Why the fuck are we paying this amount of money for it when no one's using this function?
Saying that, though, Facebook, no one really fucking uses Facebook anymore, especially those that want to share gaming content. You know, that support's still there. Like, why are they willing to then do the meta side of things?
Maybe it doesn't cost them as much to have Facebook than
Once again. So like, then it's not as simple as like, is it just a cost fallacy? Is it just like, well, we don't, you know, we could have it, but we don't want to pay it. But like, is Threads suddenly getting supported? Is Blue Sky suddenly getting supported? Like, once again, we mentioned this entire fucking button on this console is built to share things to shit. Like, is it more of a demonstration of the types of individuals that use Twitter alongside the costs? Because once again, starting at $42,000, that's pennies. Like, we're talking about a company that likely refers to $1 million as a buck. It's going to cost $3.
But if there's one dude doing it, a company's not going to pay $42,000 for that one guy to fucking.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm very aware of that. I'm saying it's a combination of things. It's the optics, the optics of Twitter mixed with the exorbitant increase in costs, because you know Elon paid $44 million and now has to recoup it because the company's worth less and less and less because he made an absolute shithole. Bold strategy, Cotton.
Quick bits.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 has dominated the Golden Joystick Awards, taking home 6 awards, including Ultimate Game of the Year.
Ultimate Game of the Year?
Yeah, so they won
PC Game of the Year. Did it have a season pass and a DLC?
Nope.
Oh.
Nothing.
Then what makes it more ultimate than regular Game of the Year?
So I think
did it get announced 3 days early?
It won. It won PC Game of the Year and Ultimate Game of the Year. So it's just overall, it was the best game on PC, and it was the overall best game like ever created.
It's weird,
according to the Golden Joystick.
That is weird race. Look,
fucking great game.
Don't get me wrong. I've barely touched the surface of Baldur's Gate, and I can tell you, hand on heart, like that is Game of the Year. Like, just collectively, like, come the end of the year when the Game Awards, everyone's going to be like, is Baldur's Gate and GTA, boo. You know, like, that's essentially the entire conversation of Jeff Keighley's nonsense, right? Yeah. It's kind of crazy. It's going to sweep. And everyone's like, but what about Tears of the Kingdom? Fuck that game. What about Spider-Man 2? I love Spider-Man 2, but fuck that game. Baldur's Gate's clean sweeping this shit.
It has a fucking sex category in speedruns. Like, it's clearly the best game.
It's a game that you can, like, do whatever you want. You can make, like, unreasonably hot characters and then smash a bear or whatever you want to. Like, if there's anything in the game, you're like, I'm going to smash that. The game's like, yeah, roll for it. You know, but it's like, it's incredible. It's a game that made CRPGs accessible to a wider audience. A genre of games that most people never want to fucking touch. And suddenly everyone's like, I'm going to check that out. I'm gonna fuck that bear, you know. Like, it's insane.
Physical games represented just 4% of sales for PlayStation's last quarter.
Oh, apart from Call of Duty, Max, what was the last physical game you bought?
Call of Duty, the previous year.
Actually,
no, I think I bought Elden Ring on disc.
Oh, you did, yeah. Let me think. I don't know, because like, even if I look at my shelf, right, the only game that I have that is a PS5 game on disc is Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was given that for Christmas, whatever year, like what 22? No, 21, 21, 22. I have not bought a single PS5 game on disc. Wow. Wow.
You bought Spider-Man 2.
No, I didn't. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't. It's digital code.
But you bought it physically. It's not your fault that they didn't.
No, motherfucker. It's not on disc.
It's not your fault that they didn't make it.
No, hang on. Let me correct that. We got given a review code. Thank you, PlayStation Australia. So when my statue came, which is behind my head, I sold my digital code to my housemate. So
I would argue that you still bought it to begin with.
Yeah, technically. But like, I mean, in terms of if I went apart from I bought the game for the statue. Like, and I know you bought Call of Duty on disc with the idea of if you fucking hate it, you can trade it in. And if I was to buy Call of Duty, I'd probably consider doing the same. I'd buy it on disc. But no, I have most definitely transitioned to the digital future. So that doesn't surprise me.
Well, seeing as how we're talking about Spoods 2 has swung past 5 million in sales this week.
Swung past. Look at you. Quality writer. Well done. Yeah, cool. That's incredible. Incredible for like less than a month. That's amazing.
Sony is set to help fund and distribute the live-action The Legend of Zelda film until Nintendo finds someone better.
Yeah, transmedia, baby. You know, it's one of those things. PlayStation are like Sony are smart. They're like, oh, we'll make money on that shit. After seeing the success of Mario, yeah, we'll fund that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is this next story?
Which does mean that we're going to get Tom Holland as Link and Zelda. But actually, no, we'll probably get him as Link, and then we'll get Zendaya as Zelda. There you go, done.
Is this next quick bit?
Ganondorf will be Mark Wahlberg. Sorry, what was the question?
Is this next quick bit too spoilery?
No. Yes and no. Once again, the game's less than 20 hours. It's been out a month. 5 million people have played. Okay.
It's fine. I won't read the end bit. Yeah. Developer Insomniac has confirmed which of the 2 Spider-Men will be the prime Spider-Man moving forward. If you want to know, literally Google it.
Yeah. The implication of what we just said lets you know what the future is. And if you want to hear about it, check out the spoiler review. It's on this channel. It's on this podcast feed. We'll touch upon it. How do you feel about that?
It makes sense.
Yes, from a story perspective, it makes fucking sense. If you have played the game, you get it. You know what? It's fucking spoilers. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1.
It's Peter.
It's Miles. Like, the idea is like Peter, who has spent all this, like, you know, the whole story of the 2 games or the 3 games or whatever is him just like having to sacrifice a bunch of shit, and he finally has the opportunity to like not sacrifice. He has no, like, the only person he has left is Mary Jane. Everyone he has ever really cared about is fucking dead. Right? Miles has a family. He has a community. He has everything. Spider-Man finally gets to live a life. And even then, it's not like, oh, you know, it's not a diversity thing. It's because it's Miles fucking Morales. Like, if there's no other Spider-Mans. The other Spider-Mans in this, like, Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, doesn't exist in this world yet. Right? You're all fucking dumb. It's there. It's given. It's easy. Does it mean he's hanging up the cowl for good? No. The game essentially implies I'm going to take some time, but I guarantee you that time is until the next game, because then Spider-Man 3 will come out, and then the villains that they have laid the groundwork for don't even have to. I didn't have to tell you. If you've seen the game, you know the characters that are in it. You know where it's going to go. They are all Peter villains. They are not Miles Morales villains. So what does that mean, Max?
It means
Peter's back.
Yeah, that's what I said. Toby.
Yeah.
Toby's coming back.
Yeah. There you go. All right, stop spoilers.
Cool.
I could have spoiled that so much harder, and I chose not to. All right, let's get... Oh, shit, can I talk about... I don't think I can. Wait, what was the... Uh-oh. Hang on.
It's a bit late now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit. I can pull the VOD. Yes. Oops. Yeah, okay, here we go. 14th of November, Astral Ascent, Coral Island, Karma Zoo, Turok 3, Shadow of Oblivion. 15th of November, Teardown, PS5, The Last Faith. 16th of November, Jagged Alliance 3. 17th of November, Bluey the video game. Christmas Massacre, Naruto X Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, PS5, PS4, Persona 5 Tactica, PS5, PS4, The Walking Dead Destinies, PS5, PS4, Tiger Blade, PSVR 2. Now I have to quickly edit this motherfucker. Hi.
Yeah, you do.
I thought the game was already out, so that's my bad. Beautiful. Oh, it does bring us to the end of the show. Thank you all for coming. Ignore everything I said previously. It'll be edited out of the final version, so don't worry about that. My bad.
I mean, you could just release this episode on the.
It's 2 days later. Yeah. Oh, look, what I'll do is be like, oh, I played beep, and then I'll either just leave it and I'll go. No, I'll just like cut to fuzz and then come back. Yeah, beautiful. All right. Before I say something else I shouldn't, Max, send us home.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to talk about future conversations with us, you can come and check out our socials: Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and X. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/PopCulturists. We can watch us record this show live. We can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you're listening on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturists, as well as our merchandise store, popculturists.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. But if you want to, and that's it. Cool.
Until next time.
But until next time, I'm Ryan Besson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And that was for the players. And also, everyone, just check your fucking embargo details, all right? Check your NDAs. Make sure you pay attention to them, because I didn't. And now I got to fucking fix it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, love you long time. Bye. Wow.